Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of A Queen's Eye View. 4 women, 4 views, and 4 opinions, all on one show. We all have 2 eyes, but we don't see things the same. But we still respect each other's opinions and most times leave with an additional perspective. I'm Shay, and alongside me tonight we have Heidi and Alicia Coleman, and Dawn Michelle will be calling in later on. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in again this week. As a reminder, we have moved from Thursdays to Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Each week, we ask you to reach out via your social networking sites, via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace. Anything else I missed, ladies?
Nope.
That's about it?
Oh, you did say Instagram, yeah.
MySpace. And have your friends.
Well, Pinterest.
Okay. Flipboard if you can get on.
Yes.
And have your friends and family tune in to A Queen's Eye View at www.skycitymg.com/talk. That's www.skycitymg.com/talk. Also, please join and like our network Facebook groups, A Queen's Eye View, Sky City Media Group, and Jericho Broadcast Networks. Please feel free to leave your comments, opinions, and or ideas for future shows. We're ready to get underway for tonight's program, but before we do, we always like to check in on our queens' week so far. So let's start with Queen Heidi today. How's your week?
It's hump day. I'm good. I'm on this workout kick, y'all. You know, some people get fined for the summertime. I'm getting fined for the fall. So
okay.
I'm doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? So headed out to Anytime Fitness in Midtown. They're having a grand opening on the 25th. V103 will be there. It's awesome gym. Just letting y'all know we got a little place downtown now.
Oh, yeah, I see you on Facebook posting. I see you talking about let's go. All right now. Okay. Queen Alicia Coleman, what's going on with you this week?
Like she said, it's hump day and it's almost over. This week is almost over, but the real work begins on the weekend because I know we all have busy lives. So I'll be working a lot for the next few days because I have a couple events that I need to be at Thursday and Friday.
All right.
So I'll be putting in more work this weekend.
What kind of events? What are you going to be doing? Can you share?
Yes, I actually I'm featuring at Pier 1 in College Park tomorrow night at 8:00 with my boy Beatdown. He's a drummer and he has a open mic event practically 3 times a week, I believe, different spots. And then they're having at the Sisters House in Riverdale. They're having Larry Love is going to be down there, and he's going to be they're going to have a panel, and they're going to just discuss relationships.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so there are going to be a lot of things going on this weekend.
Oh, all right. Dawn Michelle, you with us on the phone? Oh, she's not in yet. Well, Dawn Michelle will be joining us shortly. Okay, I think that's her now. And speaking of, hey, Dawn Michelle.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
Hey. We were just talking about our weeks, and you were up next. How's your week been so far?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Anything exciting?
No, not really.
Okay, short and sweet.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, how was your week, ma'am? You're asking all of us.
Yes.
I'm not sure yet. Can you come back to me?
Okay, wait.
I've
Heidi,
been thinking about
ask
that
her
question.
how week is.
Right. I'm not sure yet. I'm grateful. How about that?
All right,
I'm
good,
grateful,
that's
and I
good.
just know that God is working on me and in me. So with that being said, it's good.
Okay.
It's good.
We'll accept that.
Yeah, you'll take that?
We'll
Yes,
take
we
that.
will.
Well, good. Again, we'd like to thank everyone for joining and tuning in this week. We have a very exciting show this evening. We have special in-studio guests this evening. They just joined us, and we're excited and looking forward to our conversation and some knowledge. We have Jenny and Rufus Triplett.
Yes.
We're glad to have you. They were voted Couple of the Year, if I'm correct, by Ebony in 2012.
Congratulations.
There's your mic there. And we're glad that you guys were able to join us.
We only got one mic, dear.
Well, you're going to show us how couples share.
Woo!
Teach us how to share.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
Huh? Why you giving me the mic? Look at
I
here.
love it.
You always say I hog the mic, so I'm handing it over.
How was your week, sir?
Well, you do what you do. No. I mean, my week was great.
Awesome.
You know, we just coming back from Hilton here.
Okay.
So, I mean, it was beautiful down there. So,
Vacation?
yeah, a little bit of both. Well, we actually went to Florida, back and forth from Florida to Hilton here. But I mean, it was all good. It was, yeah. Hey, I'm talking.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm going to let her
saying
have
what
mine.
I'm
I'm
saying.
going to let her
now.
have mine. Here, we're going to let the guests. I'll share.
I was
There
going
you
to say,
go.
give me the mic, because you saying a
Give
lot
you
of
the
stuff.
mic. Oh, I'm saying something. You just ain't hear
No,
me.
she asked you, what did we go for?
But somebody
What
hear
did we
me?
go for?
Huh?
What did we go for?
Huh? Do I have
What
to
did we-
answer
what
that?
did we? Yes, answer me. If you don't answer her, what did we go for?
I went to go enjoy myself.
Okay, but we always enjoy ourselves.
Well, that's what I
We
went
went
for.
to take care of business. We went for
Dad knew what I go
my
for.
family reunion. And we went for a vacation.
I went to enjoy myself.
It was a triple. It was a
How'd you
triple
leave the family
threat.
out?
It was a triple threat.
I didn't leave them out. You know, I
you-
love
you
my
left them
sister-in-laws.
way out, way out.
Oh, we're going to have a show tonight. We're going to have a show tonight. Welcome. Rufus and Jenny Triplett. They need no introduction. I just want to give the mic away and listen to them. I think we
That
got
ain't me.
comedy hour here. We're going to learn some things
Hey, that's
tonight.
her. That ain't me now.
I just keep it real.
that's what we appreciate.
Capital L.
All right now, with some quotation marks around the side. Where they're going to be sharing with us tonight about what it takes to make a relationship work and their perspective. And I'm glad we have some experts in the house, because if we need the flip side about how to make them not work, I can be your resident expert on that.
Let me second that one.
Ditto.
Okay, so we got a panel here of what will make it work
No, they didn't.
and
Yes,
what
they
won't make it
did.
work.
They went all the way
see,
there.
we're single, so hey. You single too, right, Shay? You single?
Mm.
Okay.
She in between.
Well,
She's grateful.
Say that again. Say that again. Absolutely. So we're going to be in for a time this evening, you know. And on a serious note, there's a couple other things that I wanted to talk about briefly, and I hope you guys can stay with us for the duration of the show, because we definitely want your opinion on that, the other parts of the show this evening. And we want to touch a little bit about the police brutality that's going on. I truly believe we're in a state of emergency. And that's everywhere. That's not just New York. That's not just Illinois. That's not Florida. That's not Georgia. That's everywhere. And being a queen, as we all are in Kings, you know, I have a young prince that's coming up, and I worry about him. And being a queen, and I have a niece that's a princess, and I worry about her. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when we watch the news and we hear all these things that are going on, I'm just so concerned, and I don't know what the answer is.
Girl, these folks done lost their mind. That's what the problem is.
Right. So how do we get them back? What do we do?
We need some. Look, we got to make laws that help us.
Right.
Period. I mean, that's a look. We look to Obama. I mean, I'm just tell you what it is. I mean, he's done a lot.
He's not the savior.
He can't do it all.
I
Exactly.
understand.
He's not
But
the
we
savior.
need to change. But we need someone
Yeah, but we've
to change some laws here.
grown way away from neighborhood communities.
Yes.
There used
That's
to
the biggest
be
thing.
neighborhood hood communities. I was just speaking with someone about this on our Facebook page earlier today. And the thing about this whole thing, first of all, let me preface this. I am a mother of 3 African American boys. Our baby boy just turned 21 last month. And, you know, it saddens me every time I hear about another black young male being gunned down by the police, unarmed. Not even, you know, police, because some of these situations, it's with
Gunned
individuals.
down. That boy was murdered.
Individuals. And
Yeah.
it's just really sad, because we have gotten away from community. You know, now communities seem to come together when things like this happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but did anyone know his name? Who knew his name before this? Who
That's
knew who
right.
he was, before this?
Right.
Don't nobody know who I am if I get shot today.
About this. Somebody better know who you
Ain't
are.
nobody gonna know who. Ain't nobody. Don't nobody know me.
I want 900 calls saying, I am sorry for your loss.
That's right.
Somebody better know who you are.
Tell you, don't nobody know me.
Yeah, I know you.
That's right.
And it's going to take all of that community effort, coming together. People are just even afraid to speak to their neighbors these days.
Yes, I agree.
You
I
know,
agree.
and they
I
can say,
agree.
well, that he lived down on the corner. You can see him doing something wrong, but you're so afraid to say anything, so
Right.
afraid to speak out. But as soon as the police does something, I'm the best activist on the block.
Right, right.
You
Power
know,
to the people.
I'm just, all behind and down for people. These people need to stop doing this, and these people need to stop doing that. What about when there's nothing going on, and there's nothing bad, and there's nothing happening?
What are you doing?
What are you doing to make sure that something positive is going on in the community? And I just feel that we've gotten away from that.
Right.
And that's what we need to get back to.
We have.
I say be the difference you want to see. Get involved when you don't have to get involved. Now, how long are we going to remember this young man, Mike Brown? Like you said,
Right.
when Trayvon Martin, when that happened,
Right.
Everybody can put a hoodie on and do that. But
That's
what did we
sad.
do after
Right,
that?
right. Well,
That's just totally sad right there.
unfortunately, history is repeating itself. So when Trayvon Martin got gunned down, here comes Emmett Till, which was 40 years ago.
Exactly.
So you're bringing that up, and we are actually, and I tell people this all the time, we are actually living history right now. So what mark and what side of history do you want to be on?
Exactly.
Where do you want to be? Where do you want your footprints in the sand to be in this history that we're living right now?
Exactly.
That you spoke up, when the police did you wrong, or that you were making positive moves so these young brothers know how to react to police.
Yeah,
Right.
Communities got to start taking the front row because we wait for Sharpton and other leaders to come to our communities all
Agreed.
over the United States to help us out. But if we actually took that front row, I'm saying in the first place, we'd have an establishment when things like this happen.
Exactly.
I mean, we'd be established in our community with the precincts,
Right.
with the police, because you know what? They need to release that man's name for one.
Right.
Okay, they can
Right.
release
Yeah,
everybody.
just,
They released
Yes.
the names of the 9 people that were looting there in Illinois and put their faces in
put
the
their
paper,
faces
but they won't
on there.
release the name of the police
because
officer.
they fear for the safety of his family.
And the thing about it is that I say is that he brought the fear on himself, first of all, because you gunned down this innocent young man. And I know I've heard a lot of people saying, though, what college person doesn't commit a crime? But I really believe this young man was innocent. And he was looking,
He
had
hadn't
an
even made
outlook
it to
on
college.
Yes, he hadn't even had opportunity to go. But he was preparing to go to college.
Exactly.
And for them to withhold the name, saying, given the reasons that,
Yeah.
but it just brought about more anger. And the one thing I would love to see is that I know they were angry, and that's what caused the looting. The anger and the
Right.
tension, and
Right.
and that's what caused
Now
riots.
that part saddens me.
Yeah.
Because that solves nothing.
Yeah, it
That-
doesn't. But
it-
they
it
don't,
doesn't solve
the anger
anything.
Is
We need to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Before these types of things happen, who is in the community teaching them how to deal with this?
No,
They
didn't
could have
have nowhere to go, though.
rechanneled.
We
They
have to-
could have
we have to look at it now.
rechanneled that anger into some other
Positive
form
way.
I'm
of
saying what was in the
of
community,
protest.
nothing was established in the community where they can go.
but the thing about it is like your wife was saying earlier, we need to establish that before the Trayvon
Without
Martins,
doubt.
before the Mike, before this happens, before the next young black male is gunned down by a police officer.
Right.
Because this has become it's almost as though police officers have been given permission or given an assignment
Exactly.
to take out young black males.
Exactly,
They can say
exactly.
what they
And
want,
see,
but I
and
say that's
the
what
work,
it is.
the work
True.
what we do with the other side of things, we have, our prison world brand where we work with inmates and their families, and we're trying to get to the youth and speak to the youth. And one of the things that we're trying to get them to know and understand are their rights. They do have rights, and one thing, and trust me, we have 3 boys, and they got a little bit of each of us in them, okay?
Yeah, they got a lot of you in them.
No,
got
they
fire
got,
and ice.
they got a little bit of each of us,
Fire
both
and
of
ice.
us, in them. And I'm constantly telling them, as far as dealing with situations with the police, you know, baby, hey, you know, if you gotta go, you gotta go. We got a house, we got money.
Well, you the one taught that boy how to talk to police.
We get you a
the way
lawyer
he
and different
do
things.
when he gets
And
stopped.
I give them
gonna get that boy
limitations.
locked up.
I will let them, I give and lock them up. And I will be the biggest sewer. I'll be little
See,
Johnny
look at that.
Cochran up there.
Look at
Just hey, I will get the biggest lawsuit.
That's
on
a shame.
I'm saying you have to know how far you can go. You have to know your limitations. You have to know how to deal with things. And this is a community that did not know how to deal with things. And I'm just familiar with the community a little bit because my dad, you know, was from East St. Louis. His dad grew up in St. Louis. He grew up a little bit in East St. Louis. And so I'm a little bit familiar with the community and everything. And these people, they just don't know. No one's teaching them. They just do not know. There's no leaders. There's nobody. There's no old school people. There's no, hey, young blood, come here. You know,
Right,
let me try
right.
to pull. Because people don't want to speak to you, you know.
Right.
Because you sit up here making ratchet videos and teaching people how to do the nay-nay.
Oh,
okay, they don't
yes,
want to speak to
yes,
you. That's
yes.
foolishness.
I agree. If you guys will hold on, Dawn, if you hang on 1 second, we got to go to break, but we're coming right back with Rufus and Jenny Triplett and a Queen's Eye View, and we're going to continue this conversation above the law or beneath the radar. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24-karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly, and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink. Tap Out Studios of Hollywood is one of Atlanta's newest visual and performing arts centers designed for you to perfect your creativity. Our 3,000 square foot event space includes a full bar, VIP section, movie screen, and 2 stages. Take advantage of our Spring Fling package deal for new and existing clients. Save over 40% when you rent our venue for $700 for events with more than 100 people. For booking information, contact Kendra at 404-578-1454. Located less than a half a mile off of I-20 off Fulton Industrial, we are Tap Out Studios of Hollywood, 620 Interchange Drive. Tap Out Studios of Hollywood. Inspiring creativity, changing lives, and making dreams come true.
Stokes and Matthews Media is a boutique media company that specializes in vision coaching, publishing, and marketing for authors, experts, and small business owners. It is the mission of Nadia Matthews and Nicole Stokes to show aspiring writers and seasoned authors how to build lucrative brands using their books as the foundation. Before the company's official launch in September 2014, Stokes and Matthews Media will be offering free online workshops and interviews with industry experts, ebooks, and discounted first-time consultations for individuals who desire to get on the company's 2014-2015 roster. Stokes and Matthews Media is also scouting experienced individuals in the literary publishing, PR, marketing, promotions, and event planning industries to join the team on a freelance and/or internship basis. If you would like to learn more about Stokes and Matthews Media or learn how you can advertise with us, please send a detailed email to info@stokesandmatthewsmedia.com or visit www.stokesandmatthewsmedia.com. Stokes and Matthews Media, where your project is our passion.
Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of A Queen's Eye View. I'm Shay.
I'm Alicia Coleman.
I'm Heidi.
And we have in-studio guests here. Oh, we also have Dawn Michelle on the phone. Hey, Dawn.
Hi.
Hi. And we have Rufus.
Yeah. That's what they call me.
That's all they call you?
Huh? Did you call me something else?
I can call you some things.
Girl, you better keep it up here.
And we have a guest queen in the house, Miss Jenny over there.
Hey.
I'm going to call you a couple of names.
We may need police or security in the studio tonight.
Yeah, y'all are off the
Uh-oh,
chain.
they done hanged up on me.
Dawn, how quick before you can get here, Dawn?
Y'all are off the chain.
I'm telling you. Dawn, I have a question for you. Are police hired to serve and protect? And if so, who are they serving and who are they protecting? You want to weigh in on that, Dawn?
The police?
Right. I said if police are hired to serve and protect, who are they serving and who are they protecting, in your opinion?
Ooh.
Today, I don't know. It just really seems like, and I know I'm not a parent, so there's probably a lot that I could say that a lot of people would be like, well, you can't say a whole lot of nothing because you're not a parent. But it just really seems like our youth are very lost today. A lot of them are very lost. Like their perspectives and all of that are just very lost. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say about cops, because if you want to say who they, I mean, you ask me who they're serving and protecting. They're serving and protecting a lot of lost.
I tell you, they protecting they laws. They protecting how they want it to be. They're protecting them white folks. I'm not gonna tell you what they doing now.
Dawn, let me ask you a easier question.
I
Since,
don't know if I agree with that, but
Give me something easy.
you always get it easy. But let me ask you a little easier question. Do you feel black people have a culture that need to be protected?
I do.
Okay,
I do.
What would that culture consist of?
What does the culture consist of?
Why you got to put people all on front street?
Anybody.
Girl.
Well, in my opinion, the current situation of African Americans in this country, the term culture is a little skewed. And I'm saying that to say we have been copying European dynamic around us for so long that most people don't even know what their identity is, let alone their culture, what your culture consists of. I mean, we have commonalities that I see that are within our community in this country, but in terms of our historical culture, a lot of our people don't know who they are, where they come from, where they've been, their history. They don't know any of that. So especially our kids, if you don't know you came from kings and queens, then you have no foundation to respect yourself and uphold yourself or your family or your community or anybody else around you.
Right.
So in my opinion, I'm not quite sure from the let me just put it out here like this, because I work with the police, because I'm a forensic expert. So there are guys who come into the force who truly believe that the laws of this country we should uphold them. And if you're a tax-paying, law-abiding citizen, that things should go smoothly for you in the world. The problem is when you have all different types of personalities coming into a force, the police force, and different types of cultural perspectives and so forth. The law itself is the law, but it's always interpreted differently depending upon who's looking at it and who they're looking at, who broke it or who didn't break it.
That's what I was saying earlier.
I'm just being honest. So really and truly, that's going to be a hard piece, because you have people who come in, I think, from the most part, from teaching at the police academy with good intentions when they get in. They want to do right. They want to protect people. They want to uphold the laws. But the problem,
and they want to help people.
And there are cops who really want to help people. And there are cops within our community who really want to help our kids and our families. The problem is you get caught up in the system. The police force is like a fraternity. I'm in a sorority, so no. They're like a fraternity. They stick together. They have their own code, like the Masons, like anybody else. They back each other up. So even when their brother in blue, whether he be white, Hispanic, whatever he is, screw up, they back each other, because their code and fraternity is the fact that they have that badge, and their badge is beholden to the laws of the land. So they're going to stand behind their own before they're going to stand behind anybody else, because once again, they have families to take care of and they have things to do. That's their perspective. They want to get home every night to their family safely like everybody else. The problem is when you have a force, because that's what it's called, the force, you never know which way that force is going to go. You don't know if it's going to go for good or evil. You don't know if it's going to go in your favor or not. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to preach, but I'm just kind of breaking it down, because I think everybody has this opinion that because you have a badge or you have a title that you automatically should just do right. But you're coming from your world perspective, whatever that is and however you were raised and whatever you were subjected to. So if you were growing up as a white kid and black boys bullied you and picked on you, once you get a badge, you gonna flip it over and you gonna be the new authority in town. You see, do you understand what I'm saying? I'm just giving a perspective.
That's kind of what I was saying when I said that they do that. It's about protecting the white folks and about their laws, because I do believe it's subject to interpretation. I believe all of it's subject to interpretation, and they always interpret it for themselves, to me, because your boy wouldn't have never got off that Trayvon Martin thing. That boy wouldn't have never got off if I interpreted that
well, he
law.
didn't get arrested, first of all. It took a minute for them to
I'm
even
just trying to
arrest
tell you
him.
That's why I say
it took community,
Everybody got involved.
protest, to even get him arrested, because they felt he did nothing wrong. The police felt that he had done nothing wrong. So that's once again that I go back and ask about black culture being protected, because we don't have our own force. We don't have our own police force. We are subjected to whoever comes on with a badge.
Yeah, but it's really the law.
And
I mean, for me,
I don't think it's about the law, because too many personal feelings get involved, and they can make lies and make them stick. They can make up lies and make them stick.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead, Shay.
Part of what I think is the problem when you asked a great question about culture and the ability to identify with the culture, I think we have so many people out there that could actually move this along, even though we don't have our own force, so to say. But we have politicians, we have athletes, we have actors, we have actresses.
Who they don't identify with this culture.
And that's the thing. If they were able to identify instead of pick up and put down when it's convenient, they can jump on the bandwagon. For instance, when Trayvon Martin, when he was killed, everybody put the hoodies on. Nothing really got noticed so much until LeBron James and his team, and they went out there and they made a stand, because athletes don't normally take a stand for that. You know, they kind of sit back.
Right.
But because they're seen a certain way, when they made that stand, it said something. So it spoke volumes. And my thing is, if we could get our community, meaning those athletes, those actors, those actresses, to get involved, then maybe we can start to see some things shift. Because not only that, they can put some money, they can put some energy, they can put some effort behind that. You know, I take my hat off to Oprah and all that she does, you know, over in Africa and everywhere else, and all her donations. But I truly believe that if we got together here and did something and set up things, for instance, and I digress, but Michael Jordan, you know, his sneakers, our kids were killing each other for sneakers, killing each other over things. When he lost his father to gun violence, to murder, when they killed his father on the side of the road, had he taken some of that money, and maybe he doesn't want to get involved because that's his money, so he may not want to be on the front line, but start a foundation to help these kids, to teach them, hey, I know you may want my sneakers and all, but there's a way to go about that.
Exactly.
So if we can pour back into our community, into our children, and put something in them, I'm certain we can change some things, because before we can change what they do to us, we have to change the way we think about ourselves.
Exactly. And I'm going to say something. I'm sorry, Joe, but I'm going to say something that's probably not really, really popular. And folks, I don't know if you get calls, but
shoot, here we
that's
go.
just how I do. That's just how I do. But, you know, Essence Fest is like one of the biggest black gatherings every year. What type of activism comes out of that? Besides people selling products, people going for a concert, you know, people going to see celebrities,
just
to
like
meet
you
them,
said.
you know, whatever. What positive comes back into the community, you know, from that?
Because we turn the stuff that we do, and it's all about money, though. Everything
just,
black folks do,
you know,
I mean,
we've never been. I have to. We've never been.
Who?
We've never.
How you know I ain't been? You don't know where I've been.
I don't know where you been.
No.
Okay. No,
Okay,
you
we're
ain't
gonna
been.
take a moment.
Then it'll be 25 in October, but we ain't never been to Essence.
Okay, that's what I said.
And we've been to New Orleans a couple of times. We ain't never been to
I
Essence.
ain't never been. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. And nothing I've seen ever positive comes back and saying this is what we created, because all of this money got together in one room, and this is what we decided and created, and we're going to push this agenda forward for the next year.
If you're gonna let me just say this, and I'm piggybacking off what Shay said. I don't have a problem with celebrities, folks in power who have the money to move and make people notice, because that's really what it's about. When you have a little couple coins in your pocket, people tend to listen to what you have to say. You know, they think you are you know, got some worth, whatever. The point I'm making is, I don't have a problem with people starting charities, foundations, and giving to the community, but when it comes to true education of our kids, they're not educating them on the truths of the system. Yes. The problem is, everybody can get mad at the Trayvon Martin case all they want to. Yes. The Trayvon Martin shooting was the tragedy and the wrong, but the way the case was handled in the courtroom, I don't care what anybody says. If you know the law and you know how cases are supposed to be handled, he was never going to win that case in the first place. So therefore, if you don't understand, if you can get mad at the defense attorney all he wants, that's his job. The prosecution, the burden lies on the prosecution to prove otherwise. I've been testifying as an expert for over 12 years. I sat through that trial only 2 days, and I knew the outcome. Yes. What I'm trying to explain, if nobody truly understands the system that we're currently in, then all those charities and all that so-called foundation money and stuff y'all doing doesn't mean a hill of beans. If you don't explain to kids what the laws are when they get pulled over by a cop and what they should and should not do, it doesn't mean anything, because we're living in their system, not ours. They're teaching all kinds of other things besides that.
With the Michael Jordan thing, because people are killing people over sneakers, I felt that he could do something incentive-wise with his foundation, because all of his sneakers don't have to cost $200 or $300. No. You could put 200 or 300 pairs of sneakers out there for $20 and give some type of incentive for those people to get those sneakers. They'll still be the same sneaker with Jordan on it, okay, but you can go through his foundation and get them for like $20 or $30. $30 instead of $200 or killing somebody over it. That's the
Over a
type of
shoe.
stuff I was talking about celebrities can do with their celebrityism, or whatever
A
they
lot of them
have.
tell you they doing enough.
And they're not doing enough.
We
I mean,
know.
and even like, I know Steve Harvey has a foundation where he's educating young men to become men. I don't know a whole lot about the foundation, but it seems to be working. And I know more, and I know we've talked about churches and what the church can do in the community. And that's one of the things, I mean, instead of preaching, so, just giving that one word. I understand y'all want to save lives, but the thing about it is, let's save livelihood, with these young men. Teach them, like you said, how to respond to the police officers. Not just, cower down, don't do this, don't.
Right.
You
Or
have
run.
Right. Yes, you have rights.
Correct.
And once you understand your rights in this world, once you understand what you can and cannot do, then you have power. And like I was telling them earlier, I was saying recording things that happen between you and the police.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
even if you follow the law the way you're supposed to, do what you're supposed to do, and you be obedient and control yourself. If they tell you to go to the left, you go to the left. Do not argue with them. It's not the point to argue with them, because the thing about it is that you are a target, and anything that you do will justify them killing you. It doesn't justify, legally, but in their mind it justifies, because young black men are a target and because they're thugs.
And what you just said, that's another thing that I say that celebrityism should do or whatever. They speak to people at Essence Fest and all different things, whatever. Take the first 10 minutes of what you got to say and target it to the young single mothers out there raising men, who have something, or even the youth that are in the audience, and say, I'm black like you. Okay.
Yeah, but just give them
And
some of the
this
laws.
is-
Educate them
exactly.
on
And
their
this
rights.
This is what you should. I've never
That's what
been
I would
stopped
love
by
to
the
see.
police, but if I were, this is what I would do. It happened to me. Instead of just saying my next movie coming out, in November,
I want
take
you to come to my
take that
movie,
little
but-
bit of time.
Because I bet you they'll remember if you give them, if you teach them what their rights are. If you give them a little bit, I'm talking about every black person who have any type of status, give them some of what their rights are. I guarantee you that we'll start remembering that. Our youth, we have to think about our youth.
Hey, Don, you still there?
I am.
You got any thoughts on this?
I'm just saying right now, I really don't have comments right now.
I got you.
But all this is good and all this is true, but it truly does start at home first, because I have to say some of our young people that we see out on the streets, they leave some things to be desired. And I'll be honest with that. I mean, because sometimes we can say all day long, and by no way am I saying that we deserve for our children to be targeted on any point. But when we see our children, our young people out there with their pants dragging, and they want to sensationalize everything but the right thing, education. They're more concerned with what's on their backs, they're more concerned with what's on their heads rather than what's in their heads, then they kind of put a certain atmosphere around them. So they kind of set the tone and the stage, not for what's happening to them, but for how people approach them and or treat them. Right, for how they're viewed. Now, I'm not saying, sometimes you can see somebody with their hat turned back, pants baggy, and they can be very smart, very educated, have more money than us combined.
Right.
And I'm not disputing that. But
Jay-Z.
it's perception. Right, and see, that's where we go into these entertainers and artists. See, they have their money. That's all for show. They can put a video on and make you come to their show and spend all your money. But when they go home, they can get dressed up and they get cleaned up and they go out. But see, we have to know when we can do that and when we can't. And not because society says, but just for ourselves.
Exactly.
We have to know when to turn it on and when to turn it off.
Exactly.
And I think that's part of the problem, that we don't, as young people, as African American people, we don't know how to view ourselves, but yet we want someone to give us respect, but we don't know how to respect ourselves.
I really believe a lot of times the parents don't even know, because when you
They
look
too
at
young.
the parent, and that's the thing. So many young women are having babies. We haven't gone back to the to the thought of, it is something bad to have a child at 15. It is something bad to have a child and you're not married.
Woo!
It's time
She done
for
said
us
it.
to
I didn't
go
say it. She
back.
said it.
It's time for us to go back. And I did that. And I was looking back and I was like, you know what? But I was a different breed. I dropped out of school, went and got educated, training so I can go get a job to provide for my children. But how many mothers are doing that?
Girl.
How many mothers are doing that? I didn't drop out of school just because I wanted to, be lazy or get a check. I couldn't even get a check because my mama said no.
Oh, you from back in the day?
They're
then.
arresting
You from
mothers
back in the
for
day.
the fire challenge on Facebook.
And
they let
that's
their
good.
children
And
light
that's
themselves
sad.
up.
And because the mothers are recording it.
Exactly.
But challenge your
on
child to make
Facebook.
straight A's.
Where'd that come from? Where?
Yeah.
As
Challenge
long
mom to
as
take a bath. You know.
yeah, no, I agree.
Unfortunately, today it's more acceptable to be a single parent, or I hate to say, to be a baby's mama. And I know that that's not the case for all women. So I don't want it to seem like that's what I'm saying. Because a lot of women do want to have children after they get married, and they want to get, they want to get themselves in a good, or what they want to be, a healthy relationship, and then have children because they want to raise their children together like we did back in the day. But it seems like to now it's more acceptable to just be a baby's mama. And
society said it's okay. Whatever society says is okay, our children feels it's okay.
Right, but I don't want to sidetrack the conversation as far as single parenting is concerned, because the focus is still the children. No matter how they came into this world, they still need to be educated.
And since we're speaking of children, I just need to tell everyone, working with the police on a direct basis, there is a profile. There is an FBI profile that is made of individuals for certain types of crimes and things that are committed. And we have a meeting here in Atlanta Police Department, and I'm just going to put it out there, called Cobra. It happens every Thursday afternoon. And in Cobra, they discuss what's going on in each of the zones in Atlanta, what the profile situation, if we have a rapist, do we have a serial killer, whatever we got going on. When you look at the profiling sheet, the young black male is one of the first profiles. And so I'm going to explain something to you all, and I'm going to say this one time because this is real. As long as we are looked at as objects and not human beings, our children are going to continue to die because we're still seen as that chattel that's being sold. They're not looking at those profiles as individuals, human life. They're looking at it as objects. And as long as our kids worship materials and objects, that's the way they're going to continue to be seen. I'm just putting it out there.
Girl, almost got Florida Evans up in here.
Yeah. I mean, but what she's saying is definitely real, because if you look at, and you can't help it because Channel 2 News got it going on all the time. If you look at the mugshots that show up weekly, young black males, getting in trouble over foolishness. In my mind, when I hear some of the crimes, I'm like, how in the world did they think they were going to get away with that? They really thought they were going to get away with that. Who souped them up and saying, y'all go ahead and do this and plan? How did you plan this out? How, this even, or
we going to knock in the window and get the ATM. Now, how you going to get the ATM open when you get home?
Thank you.
Just saying.
The stuff that they're doing. The stuff that they're doing is just absolutely absurd, and you're wondering where the thinking is coming from. So I think if we get to the foundation, the base of the thinking, where do you even get that thought to do that, then maybe some change can happen.
All right. Anybody else have any other comments on that
ahead,
before we go to break?
Handle that.
All right. Well, we're going to get ready to take a break. Stay tuned with the Queen's Eye View, and we're going to be back with Rufus and Jenny Triplett, and we're going to be talking about relationships and what makes them work. Well, we'll tie up this first part a little later on. We'll get back to that so we can close that part out. All right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hold on, Dawn.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24-karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small, affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly, and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink. Tap Out Studios of Hollywood is one of Atlanta's newest visual and performing arts centers designed for you to perfect your creativity. Our 3,000 square foot event space includes a full bar, VIP section, movie screen, and 2 stages. Take advantage of our Spring Fling package deal for new and existing clients. Save over 40% when you rent our venue for $700 for events with more than 100 people. For booking information, contact Kendra at 404-578-1454. Located less than a half a mile off of I-20 off Fulton Industrial, we are Tap Out Studios of Hollywood, 620 Interchange Drive. Tap Out Studios of Hollywood, inspiring creativity, changing lives, and making dreams come true.
Stokes and Matthews Media is a boutique media company that specializes in vision coaching, publishing, and marketing for authors, experts, and small business owners. It is the mission of Nadia Matthews and Nicole Stokes to show aspiring writers and seasoned authors how to build lucrative brands using their books as the foundation. Before the company's official launch in September 2014, Stokes and Matthews Media will be offering free online workshops and interviews with industry experts, ebooks, and discounted first-time consultations for individuals who desire to get on the company's 2014-2015 roster. Stokes and Matthews Media is also scouting experienced individuals in the literary publishing, PR, marketing, promotions, and event planning industries to join the team on a freelance and/or internship basis. If you would like to learn more about Stokes and Matthews Media or learn how you can advertise with us, please send a detailed email to info@stokesandmatthewsmedia.com or visit www.stokesandmatthewsmedia.com. Stokes and Matthews Media, where your project is our passion.
Welcome back to this week's edition of A Queen's Eye View. Boy, we're in here having some conversation. I thought it was hot in the room, but I just think it's the conversation. I don't know. I'm Shay.
I'm Alicia Coleman.
I'm Heidi.
I'm Jenny.
Oh, you ain't gonna say my name this time?
Nope. Say your
You
name.
always say my
your
name.
Say
You
your
always
name.
act like
Say your
it's
name.
you.
Say your name.
Oh my God.
I'm Rufus.
And we have Dawn Michelle on the phone. Hey, Dawn.
She's over there trying laughing.
Oh, Lord. Oh, my goodness.
We want to thank you guys for tuning back in with us. And before we went to break, we were just talking about, we're in a state of emergency and, above the law or beneath the radar. And just a few thought questions that we'll leave everyone with. And we're going to come back to this topic for another show because it requires, some more time and some more information and just to go in depth with it because we got really heated in here during break and commercial. And, everyone has an opinion and everyone has an idea and everyone's right on target with it. And basically it takes a village. It takes everyone to roll up their sleeves and be the difference that you want to see.
Right.
It doesn't take to wait until it happens for everyone to become involved or wait until it happens to your child or your nephew or your daughter or someone close to you for you to really want to do something, And I just like to ask, how can we influence or change the current process? Can we? Are we equipped to do it? Do we know what the process is?
We got to start educating our kids on these laws. I mean, just as well as they go to school and they learn ABC, they need to learn what these laws are in the United States. They need to know how to protect themselves with their weapon. Because that's their weapon on us.
I was about to say, but who tells us what? But how do
Without
we know
doubt.
what to teach them?
It's going to take both. We need to educate the kids, but we also need to educate the parents.
Without doubt.
If we just educate the kids will have knowledge that the parents don't, and they will buck the system. The parents will refute what the children are saying, and they won't accept it. So we need to educate both because there are a lot of parents, young parents, who need that information, who don't know, and it's not a bad thing. It's just they don't know. And
It's just what it is.
We need to come together like your wife said in the beginning. We are a community. Let's start walking, talking, and acting like one, and not just protest for 6 months. Forget about what happens.
I'm gonna call my kids tonight and give them a law.
What I was going to say, piggyback off of you, was that a few years ago there was a very active incentive called Bridging the Gap. I don't see it a lot anymore, of going out and speaking to the youth and trying, with the town halls and trying to get the youth and the parents in the same place at the same time and letting each speak and have voices and saying what's going on. Now, we've been doing our prison world thing for like 7 years. So, we deal with prison systems and the inmates and all that good type of stuff. But now that we've been, doing the marriage thing, we're bridging the gap with those people.
Right.
Because of our age group, we deal with people that are much younger than us that see us and our marriage. And then we deal with people who are older than us. Some have been married kind of long now. Very rare. Very few and far in between with the longer marriage, but you have people that are older than us that are also seeking marriage, that are looking for marriage. So it's a very strange thing we have going on with black folks, these days, because we round out. We round out. There's no cookie cutter design, for our culture. And that was why I was speaking as far as culture. I have a way of hogging the mic. You already know that. I told you that up front.
Our next topic, which is about you two. So she's just segueing, so we can just go ahead and let you guys. She knew. She took the cue.
I'm helping her.
I'm in the wrong room.
Cue.
I'm in the wrong room.
So, all right, remember it's a Queen's Eye View. We only give the Kings a guest appearance. It's Queen's Eye View with the King's guest appearance.
You getting a side eye. That's what you get.
Enjoy this then. Enjoy this then.
I always do.
Well, since we started there, I'm going to allow you two to kind of take over and introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do. And you're the evening experts. I know, Dawn. It's hot up in here.
Go ahead. You got it.
Huh?
You got it.
He huh? Now he wants to say, huh?
I'm Rufus.
Oh, so now you mumble mouth, right?
I'm
you
Rufus.
have nothing to say?
I'm just telling you what I do.
I just threw the mic. I just threw it to you.
Quit throwing stuff. Shouldn't be hitting people.
Hey, that's all right. I'll take it back. Tag, I'm it. I'll take it back.
That's right.
All right. Go ahead. We are Rufus and Jenny Triplett, have you heard at the top of the show, and we were Ebony Magazine's Couple of the Year for 2012. It wasn't a contest. I'll just give you a little short background about that. Because of our work with Prison World and inmates and things that we were doing, we're pretty much vocal and out there. We printed a magazine, Prison World Magazine. We did that for 7 years. We have our own radio show. That's probably why you feel the energy between the two of us. We've been doing that, the Prison World Radio Hour, for 4 years. And we have a blog that's just pretty popular and popping, and we talk about all the topics about criminal justice and different things like that.
Go ahead and give that.
So,
What's that blog?
Prison World Blog Talk.
Okay.
And so with we were coming up on our 20 years of marriage a few years back, and we just felt that we had a lot to say. We saw things that were going on, these drive-by marriages, these celebrity marriages that are poor role models, for the community and what was going on. And we just felt that we had something to say. So I wanted to write a book and give some tips,
You said
for
that
people.
just to pick me up, didn't you?
What?
You wanted to write a book?
I wanted to write a book.
Oh, my.
Well, who wrote the book?
You did?
Okay. So I wanted to write a book and put some information out in regards to marriages, maybe give people some better tips or ideas of how it can survive, because Lord knows we done been through some everything.
I ain't been through nothing. I'm good.
Besides for adultery and abuse, because if it was abuse, I'd be Tina and I'd be,
Ain't nobody gonna be abusing me.
I'd be Tina and I'd be out. So
you be Ike.
I wish you, boy, please.
My boys will tell you who Ike is.
Yeah. So besides for adultery or abuse, we've kind of been
some medication. Oh my God.
we've kind of been through it all. And we started, I know nothing about the book game. I mean, even though we have been publishing our magazine, for so many years, the book game is totally different. I know nothing about it. I'm like, okay, well, I need to learn it. So while I'm learning about the book game, why
you had me look stuff up then?
Why don't we
if
do
you
a
learned
video
everything,
series?
Why was I looking up stuff?
Is your name on the book, Rufus?
I was trying to just get my initials on there.
I was gonna let you tell your part, but you said you ain't had nothing to say. You threw it to me. Remember, you threw it to me.
I know. I was coming back because I was
remember
gonna say. I was finna say all of that right there.
So you want to take it back? That was a
No,
foul.
I
That
was
was a
gonna
foul
say,
ball. You
girl,
want to take
doing,
it back?
Girl, you doing a good job.
Okay. All right.
Do
So
you?
I wanted to put out the video tips. The videos. And so we put those out. We put out 2 sets of videos, surviving marriage tips. One was talking about being able to agree or disagree with your partner, because some people just don't know how to argue.
I disagree.
Some things are just so petty to people, and they take it to making molehills out of them, mountains out of molehills, and they don't know how to argue and disagree. So we did a video on that. And then we did a video on something that, frustrates people in marriages, which is money and shopping.
Ooh.
So, yeah, we had to do a video on that.
We had to do that video.
And we got such great feedback on,
I didn't get no
the videos.
feedback.
Yes, we did.
Too much money being spent.
We got feedback.
With that 3-piece suit you got on in here, I wonder who was spending the money, Rufus.
Too much money being spent.
Too much money being spent.
We want to go there?
Huh?
You just mad I found them secret bank
Does
accounts.
he always interrupt you like that?
Go ahead, John.
Does he always interrupt you like that?
I'm
Miss
used to it.
Miss Triplett, does he always interrupt you like that?
I'm used to it. Yeah, he
Is
likes
this
to.
a game on Rufus Day or something?
That's what I'm saying. You have to learn your man, because when the memory is short, he had to get it out. Because if he don't get it out right now, he probably ain't gonna hear about it. He gonna lose it.
Yeah,
the thought would be gone.
Because that would drive me insane.
The thought would be way far away from here. Okay,
That's right.
He'll remember it on the drive home.
So let me ask you, what if you could say, what is the one thing, Rufus? What is the one thing that you think is most important in a relationship to have?
Putting God first.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I didn't create marriage. He did.
Right.
So we got to bring it back to him. First tip in the book is put God first.
All right.
That's
got to.
probably the only reason why we're still here.
Oh, girl, if I didn't have no faith in God, no way would I be here.
That's for sure. Because the first year of our marriage was hell, and we don't mind telling people that. I mean, it was.
I wasn't in hell. I don't know where you were, but I wasn't there.
So maybe you was causing the hell?
I was good.
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I was chilling. I don't know what she was doing.
We would have been going to see, what was her name? Judge Toller, who was Judge Maybelline. Yeah, she the first one, because we've been.
Why got to be a woman judge? Can we go see a man judge?
Joe Brown?
Judge Mathis?
No, we talking about divorce.
Why we got to talk about the black judges that's on TV?
Yeah, if we didn't bring it back, we didn't bring it back to the book. I'm telling you.
So
for
how important, Jenny, is communication in a relationship?
It's in the top 5, but if you don't know that's one of our tips in the book. But our thing is, we get so tired of these experts talking about communication, it's the key to relationships, whatever, but they never tell you how to communicate.
How do you communicate?
How do you communicate?
These young folks don't know, and
like,
some of the older folks don't know. You gotta tell them
exactly. And just like Dawn said, that would just drive her insane. Someone interrupting her like that. That's a part
Why
of
you
our
gotta
communication.
get back on me?
I have learned him.
Talk about somebody else, please.
That is something that I don't mind. That's like right here.
Right.
That's like right here.
Right.
And I don't mind that, because I'd be having a problem if I was sitting here and doing all the talking. I'm like, why
Well, evidently, what's her name, Dawn?
Yeah.
Well, evidently, she be having a problem too. I guess I'd have been out the door
what
with Dawn.
happens?
You wouldn't have got into
you
Dawn.
are very right, Miss Triplett. Like you said, you know him. It doesn't bother you.
Right.
But you have to find what's good for you, what fits the individual, because even though all men say all women are crazy, and we say what we say about men, and we generalize, and women generalize, and men generalize, but we are all different individuals.
We are all,
and you have to find out what works for you. But in order to find out what works for you, in my opinion, you have to know who you are first.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying.
Well, establish that relationship with God,
that
and I'm
does
telling you,
not
all it'll
bother
come.
me. But if he was to raise his voice and tone, which he used to do a lot of yelling. You just used to do
Who
a yell.
did?
You did.
I wasn't yelling.
You do a lot. Yeah.
I was saying
your
go
decibels.
Braves.
Your decibels was up there.
That's what
Okay.
I was
Your
saying.
decibels was really high.
Just talking
okay?
loud, right, Rufus?
That bothered me. And see, we've seen some relationships where they just go at it like that. It doesn't bother them. We were in apartment buildings where people been going at it. I'm like, hey, can't they shut up?
Right.
But that that is like just their level of communication, so you have to, that's when these experts that are telling you about communication is the key
Loud
to
to her
relationships. You
is-
have to find that level of communication and how to vibe with one another.
This is loud to you. I had to start whispering when I talk to you.
Good morning, baby.
You're very
Girl, if I didn't whisper, I was loud.
you're very verbose.
I know.
You're very
I know.
broad with your language, and it's just, hey, you had to
I know,
bring it
Kim,
down. You had to bring it down.
I'm moving on.
Bring it down.
Why you on me?
So what would be, Rufus, what would be one of your tips for a successful relationship and or marriage, other than
Leave me alone. Do not mess with me. I ain't bothering you. Leave me alone.
The tip in the book is, don't try to change the person you married.
That's right.
You know
Trying
you
to
married,
change
especially we've known each other almost 30 years. We met when we were teenagers, and we know each other. We know what pushes buttons.
Right.
You
We
know
know
what be
mentioning
pushing
certain
buttons.
names is is not going. It may
Chuck
go
was
to a
trying to
hurtful
convince
place.
me that he didn't know he was
You know.
pushing her button. Oh, he knew.
Yeah, and different things. So it's just why would you try to change that? I met him. He was wearing white pants and white shoes.
kind of
Well,
like the
you
ones he
was-
have on today?
Holy crap.
You didn't wear the white ones today, okay?
I'm just
But
kidding.
my
just
thing
kidding.
about it is,
Ew.
like, even on a different level, if you met someone and they're wearing flip flops, and
You trying
Cargo
to get him into
shorts.
the Gators.
right, and then now you want him wearing Stacey Adams, and Armani,
It may come.
that may be a different story.
What we say about changing someone, you can't change someone. The only one can change someone is God. So we need to quit trying to play God in our relationship, try to change the person. We try to mold each other into what we want. We all do it, not no more. I don't do it no more.
No, because I ain't
Somebody
no trophy
still
wife.
be trying,
I ain't no
but
trophy
I don't
wife.
be doing it no more.
I ain't no real housewife. I ain't none of that
But
stuff. I'm mean.
if you let that person, if you do you and do what you gonna do in a relationship, 9 times out of 10 that person will. We hear each other.
Right.
So the change might not happen when you want it, but on down the line, he might put on them gators a little bit later. But right now, because you're trying to pound it into his head, this is what he need to do.
Right.
He ain't hearing
He's
that.
gonna rebel against that, but he might put it on a little later and be like, "Oh, baby, this is what you want."
But
Yeah,
is
I
it
look-
okay
I
to
look
make a
good in this.
suggestion?
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Like if you're going somewhere and say,
Yes.
honey, I think it would be nice if
Because
maybe
we hear you.
if
Right.
you wore this, or if you purchased it and say, hey, why don't you try this? Or
And
if-
y'all be
No,
hooking
no,
us
no,
up.
no,
You
no.
don't
See,
purchase
at
it,
that
but go out and
point,
try it on.
at
and
that
say,
point,
let's try.
At that point, and this was another tip. At that point, they're hearing you, but they're not listening. at the point that they actually make that change is when they listen.
So you can make a suggestion.
When they listen, yes.
But you throw it out there, but just don't pound it.
Right.
That's where you get into those big old that little
And
thing
when
turns
you're
to a big old argument,
you're
and now
coming
we're getting a
home
divorce.
from the event, and he was wearing those kids instead of them Stacey Adams. Then he come home
I
and
don't
be
wear
like,
kids.
you know what, baby, I should have wore them Stacey Adams.
I'm
And
Nike.
He told me, you said I should have did that. Yeah, that's when they're listening.
But
to
yeah,
you.
I mean that's how change happens though in a marriage. And I learned from the 50 years and plus.
Right.
I didn't study these young folks get married or people my age. I wanted to go to them older folks and see why. And when I learned what they went through, I ain't went through nothing.
Right.
We really ain't went through anything in this relationship, but we think we went through, well, in her terms, hell and back. But we really ain't
Just
went
the
through
first
anything.
level of hell. Just the first level.
Them 50 years and stuff y'all be putting up with some stuff, boy.
Right. And we had a show one day about that, and we said that back in the days, people kept their business to themselves. They didn't go on social media. They didn't tell their friends what went on in their home. They discussed it
And they
amongst
need to stop
themselves.
it.
Right, right.
Now, I have a little thing about social media and relationships. Okay, there's so many memes going around. They get on my nerves a lot of times. Meme this, meme this. Now they got Kermit sipping tea and everything or whatever. So I'm gonna sip a little tea today.
Meet me at the park.
Meme, the
memes.
little sayings.
Oh, I thought meet me at the park.
So I'm gonna sip a little tea right now and say, I mean, we made a meme, saying that, if they say, because I can't stand that they, tell me who you're talking about.
Right.
They say if you put your relationship on Facebook, that is going to hurt your relationship. So we say we believe in God's book. Facebook can't kill your relationship. It cannot
Put
kill
God
your
first.
relationship.
Right.
It's only what you put out there.
Exactly.
What you put
And
out
you
there.
crazy to be
And they
putting all your
can't hurt
business
it
out
either.
there in the first place.
And I don't believe Facebook can hurt it. It's the people that hurt the relationship. 'Cause
there
they
you
can't
go.
do anything to your relationship.
There
It's
you
the
go.
people
And
that's
if
in the
you're putting,
relationship.
What you choose to divulge about your relationship
relationship.
to everyone,
And you
because
should.
Right.
most of the people on your Facebook, you have so many people you don't know who they
you
are.
don't even know.
So why would you give them that much information into your life?
Way too much.
Right. You gotta
Then you
do
wanna
like
complain.
you gotta do like a Beyonce. Only get the information you want people to know.
That's right.
Because what she wearing that Carter, what is going around there getting a divorce, and she's wearing a Carter jersey and
She
taking pictures.
trying to
with-
say
Right.
something.
We'll
man.
never know if she's
Right.
getting a divorce
It's
or
or
not,
not
'cause-
until it happens.
Until it happens, yes. yes.
True.
Even the fight,
True.
you don't know why it happened.
But that's what people need to do. I mean, you can be a husband and a wife. I would like to see more husband and wives on Facebook because
Sharing the page.
sharing the page.
Sharing the
Because,
well, we
I mean,
have seen an
there ain't
increase
no secrets.
since we've been out
Right,
there.
unless
We
we
have
got
seen
secrets.
seen
Right,
an
right.
increase.
Yeah,
And
I
I
ain't
did
sharing
that.
nothing if I got a secret.
And I did that when people were doing, I'm so Flynn and I'm so Detroit and I'm so
Get
this
off
or
my- get
whatever.
off my town, girl.
I said, well, I'm so Facebook. I remember when we got on Facebook, there weren't any couples in their profile pics. Now you're seeing, a lot of couples
who
as far as
who
profile
that we
pics.
made? Mashable?
Mashable.
Contacted us because of that. And I mean, I was floored. Like,
What'd they
wow,
contact
really just
you for?
because
What'd they contact you for,
because
dear?
we were a couple.
We were what? We were what?
A couple.
Say it again.
A couple.
A couple.
Girl,
We're a
if you don't get out
social
my mouth.
media couple. A social media couple.
Why you got to always correct the brother?
Because you don't be giving enough information.
I get what I want to give.
I have a question.
Sure.
I have a question. I guess because, since you guys have written a book and you have gauged and seen some of the statistics, just generally speaking, I'm interested to know what are some of the statistics of, like, marriage for African Americans. What are the ages for singles now? What's that looking like? Because sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I feel like I'm by myself. And I guess if maybe, I hear and I'll look it up myself, but I'm just interested to see what you guys have observed in
There's a lot of y'all out there.
the marriage culture for African Americans versus single females and what those single female ages are, etc.
Okay, well, let me start out. Unless you got, I don't want you to forget.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't want you to forget.
I don't forget nothing. I know what I'm finna say.
Okay. Well, let me start out. Last year we did like 16 cities as far as our book was concerned. Book signings, and we did marriage workshops, single workshops. You know, we were kind of like all over the place last year. What we saw last year, let me start with the divorce rate. Our divorce rate is at 62%. That's just not for African Americans. That is across.
That's overall.
Across
Okay.
the board.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that when we put out our videos 4 years ago. We have increased to 62%. Okay, that's how bad it's gotten. Okay. What we have seen in our marriage workshops, because a lot of single people tend to come to the marriage workshops.
We get a lot of single people at these workshops.
Yeah, we're going to tell you some of the crazy.
When you have those workshops? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we've had 3 here in Atlanta. And we're going to tell you some of the crazy questions that we get in these workshops. Okay? Okay, I like to wear my 6-inch heels, but this guy I'm interested in, I'm taller than him by 2 inches. Should I stop wearing my heels so we can get married?
Duh.
What's more important?
What? That's a stupid question. I'm sorry. That's a
Well,
stupid question.
I'm saying this is the stuff that we're getting.
That's I'm
Well,
sorry.
it depends on what
That's a real
shoes you're
stupid
talking about.
question. It really is.
The stilettos.
I'm about to give y'all
Just
my.
kidding.
Come on, son. Really?
Yeah, this is
well,
the stuff that we're
give him
getting.
one? Can I give him one?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm going to give it to him.
Give it to him. Give it to him real. Give it to
Okay.
him.
You can't shop at Walmart if you going to marry me.
Right. If I had a man that shopped at Walmart, it'd be a problem.
That's you're trying to control someone even before you say I do.
See, I'm looking at it from a different perspective because I am. It's really a lot more. It's serious to me. It really, really is serious to me because I am 35. I have never been married. I don't have any children. I have never been proposed to, about to get married, none of that stuff. And so it's really, really important and serious. It's a serious thing for me.
Where are you seeking a mate, Dawn?
I want to see, I'm all about self-improvement in regards to, you know, I'm all about self-improvement and I'm all about listening and trying to be open-minded to stuff. So it's really serious to me.
Where
so
are
like
you
all
seeking
that
a
little
mate?
trivial stuff is just like really, I mean, are you talking to 21-year-olds? Because I'm a grown-ass woman and ain't got time for that kind of craziness.
Believe it or not, those women were in their 30s. Those women were in their 30s. This is what we're saying as far as the culture of marriage across the country. It's crazy. Where are you seeking a mate?
Dawn, did you hear her? She said, where are you seeking a mate? Where are you looking?
Where am I seeking one? Well, I don't seek. They're supposed to seek me.
No.
That's how I feel.
Well,
How does
That's how I
someone
feel.
know? Yeah, well, how would someone know that you're available if you're not
You won't know if you don't come up and talk to me. And I mean, I'm social. You know, I go out with my friends or whatever. You know, I try to find opportunities to go out and be social so that I can meet people. But I'm a very old school, traditional kind of girl when it comes to that kind of stuff. And I think that's part of my problem because the guys don't follow that same protocol.
Yeah,
mostly
your
in
dad should've-
2014.
her dad
So,
should have been
and my
around
whole thing
18.
is I am not going to change it.
Yeah, that's
Because I don't see anything wrong with it. I am very much about fixing my flaws, but that is not one of them. Because I feel like the men should be the seekers. I should be the one to be pursued. Now, definitely, if you're pursuing me, I'm definitely going to show you that I'm interested. And I'm going to be pleasant, and I'm going to smile, and I'm going to give you everything that guys like in a female.
That's what I'm about
But
to say.
I need that first. I'm not going to be calling you. I'm not going to be chasing you down And it's like now guys
You shouldn't.
they don't date, they don't pursue, they don't court the woman anymore.
Well, what we find on is that there's like so many singles mixers now. People that are even these speed dating, things that are going on. This is how we're, people are finding their mates because they're actively seeking mates. Because you do have so many people, that are out there. You do have a lot of women that are looking for men and are probably going to find them faster than you if you're not saying that you're available or putting yourself out there. You're available. Now, I'm not saying that you got to let it all hang out or anything like that. But you have to put yourself in the place where the opportunities present themselves.
Spots where you can seek, but you got to put yourself out there for men to gravitate to you.
I know Meet Me is a very good place to go speed dating at. So maybe you should try there first.
Is that here in Atlanta?
Yes.
It's everywhere. Well, I'm actually going to, there's an event called Lock and Key that I found out about online. I was doing some searching. And so there's a Lock and Key event next Saturday. And I'm going to go. I'm kind of interested to see what it's about. Like the guys get keys and the girls get locks, and it's supposed to be meeting singles, and you play games, and you're supposed to have a good time. So we'll see what happens.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. I know y'all don't let me talk much, but and Dawn, I know Dawn, and Dawn and I actually think very similar in that aspect. I think that, and it's not just that I have daughters, because and I was having this conversation with somebody earlier today. There are two things that you have to think about, and I'm gonna see what you guys' response is and what you think about it when I say this. The first thing that I'm gonna say now, I agree that times have changed, so there's some slight change that needs to happen. Telling a man that you're interested in him, I don't think is a problem. If he hasn't noticed it. So that's the first part. That's the part I'm like, okay, I think you do that. Now, the pursuing, I do agree 100%, because I think once you move towards the relationship, or where you get into that situation as you're moving towards a relationship, I am completely 100% totally against women asking men to marry them, because a man is not going to do something normally before he's ready, but a male ego, if you put a man on the spot in front of a lot of people, he will make some dumb decisions and do it just to save face. No, and I'm serious, because we will.
Do it, dog. We
will. So you out there in front of all your friends at a party, and you say, "Baby, will you marry me?" And all the women are gonna look at it. It's a different mentality.
It
because
is different.
Hold on, give it the mic, because here, let her grab that one, and then I'll get us back. Because the other part of that, you've got to understand that if a man is not ready to marry, and it's just like they talk about the change, and you try to force that change on a man, that in essence is because that is ultimately, and this is just something, it is a traditional role for a man to ask a woman to marry.
It is.
That is something that you cannot adjust.
I have to interject, because we got married in the 80s. Ooh, we got married in the 80s. And
you don't sound so happy.
Yeah. And, all I did was send some suggestions. Because
some
it was
suggestions?
I didn't
you scared of commitment.
Yeah, I didn't ask you to marry me, but I know how to drop some lines on a brother.
You sure did.
Yeah, well,
well, I'm leaving.
You scared of commitment? Okay. Is there a problem
that kind of brings me to another question. Because I have seen it time and time again with friends of mine, where the female gives the guy, quote unquote, an ultimatum, and it's basically the ultimatum of, okay, we've been together for 3 years, however long she thinks is too long for y'all to be together without him dropping the question or at least talking about it. And she says, okay, look,
just leave.
If you're not even thinking about marrying me, then we need to go ahead and just shut this thing on down right now.
That's exactly what she should
have
done.
Because he's scared of losing her, he goes ahead and he marries her when he's not really ready to marry her. And instead of being honest and saying, well, baby, I'm not ready, I need a little bit more time, but you are the woman I want to marry. They go ahead and marry the girl.
That's a lie.
Then they cheat on her, or they do this, or they do that because they weren't ready for that then. But because the girl that they love gave them an ultimatum, it's like they're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Dawn, actually, that was my second point, is that when a man is ready to make that move, he will do it. And I know I've gotten a lot of flack on, I don't care how many shows that you're dealing with and how many things that I've done and talked to people. I'm going to tell you, you will very rarely find a situation where a man will be in a committed relationship with a woman for more than 3 years and he hasn't asked the question and he actually intends on asking it.
That's right.
Usually that's because that man, usually in situations like that, the only time I've ever seen where it's legitimate and it's working is if he is in a process where he wants to get to a certain professional level first. Like he may be in some sort of medical school or something that takes a large amount of his time. I tell women all the time, men know after the third date whether or not we want to be in a committed relationship. We know after 6 months of reasonable time with you whether or not we want to marry you. Now, I ain't saying he going to ask you to marry him, but you will at least, right, we know, and we will at least start having certain conversations. When a man's ready, he will start asking you things that will engage you in long-term thought with him. If you go in 3 years and dude has never mentioned marriage, that means he is comfortable where y'all at, and he's staying there until he finds that one that he wants to marry.
And you've been there 2 years and 6 months too long.
Yeah, that's already too long.
Hold on, it's the King's Eye View.
I can't.
No, Dawn, one thing. I'm sorry. The other last part that I got to say to you that I was going to say about what you were saying your situation is you actually have to you have to be in the place where there are people with like minds. Because we've talked about it because we're in a situation. I want to be married. I unfortunately keep running into women who want to date. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm like, that's not going to happen. So you've actually got to be places where you're dealing with people who are in the same mindset that want to be married. And like the Lock and Key, and I don't know, I've never been to the Lock and Key. I don't know what their situation is. But make sure that the events you're going to aren't just events that people are looking to date from.
And you've heard it from the King's Eye View.
All righty then. Well,
ain't that something? I love Roy's speech. Huh?
Heidi, what are you going to say?
Oh, I was saying, let Heidi talk. Leave her alone now.
I just want to say from a married person's perspective that, this hurts. Okay, let me back up because this is for Dawn and all my other ladies out there, all my girlfriends that are single or whatever. Maybe I was a different kind of girl. I don't know. But when I was single, I was living my life, building my career, enjoying life, and not concerned about a man. As a matter of fact, I had told God, I'm loving this. I'm loving me. I'm loving the single thing. I get to travel. I get to explore the world. I get to do all these things. So I'm good. As soon as I said it, of course, guys' sense of humor. And the man that I ended up marrying walked up behind me and asked me for my number. The point I'm making to you is that a lot of times I see women are so consumed with finding a man or mate that they lose focus when it comes to themselves. And let me just say this from a spiritual perspective. God is a jealous God. So when you're single, he wants all your time and attention. So when you really are learning, he wants all your time and attention. So when you are really learning yourself, what you love, what you don't, when you're enjoying the world, enjoying your career, taking care of your family, loving the people around you, doing right by your friends, you're so consumed with being the good person that you are as a single woman that you don't have time to worry about whether or not you're married currently or not. And guess what? It tends to happen when you least expect it. So I'm just simply saying, really, ladies, you need to know yourselves before you worry about hooking up with somebody else. Because once you hook up with somebody else, that whole thing changes. And a lot of women lose themselves in marriages. They become the nurturer. and then they lose, some women lose their identity. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying all women. I'm saying it happens. So you truly need to really learn to love yourself. Enjoy yourself before you hook with someone.
Because I think Dawn pretty much knows who she is.
Dawn 35 years old. Y'all better leave that woman alone.
You know, I tend to agree with that, but I also find that people who tend to say that or do that are either married or in a committed relationship or getting ready to get engaged. And what you said, Heidi, was exactly right. But I kind of sit on the other side where, I mean, I agree with everything that you said, but you're saying that to somebody who is looking. Who is wondering, when is my Boaz coming?
Right.
When is my turn?
At 35.
At 35,
who possibly
40,
wants to have children
35,
before
40
they're
years
40.
old.
Their age out there.
Correct.
And I would like to have a baby before my eggs dry all up.
Right, and then maybe you want to do things the right way, you know, where you find a husband first and then you have a baby. You know, you want to do it in that old-fashioned, if you will, pardon the words, Dawn, you know, but using your words in that way where you meet someone.
Absolutely,
where you meet
because I was brought up in a home where I had both of my parents.
Right.
And I was so blessed to have that, and how important that was to the person that I am.
Right, and you want to continue that.
And trust me, I definitely agree with what Heidi said. And I mean, I have prayed about it. I have given it to God because I know that He knows better for me than I know for myself.
Right.
And I have faith that He's going to bring the right person to me. But that still doesn't. The human in me.
Exactly.
The flesh in me still is concerned. Oh my God, Dawn, you're 35.
Well,
I mean, come on. You know, you don't have forever to have a baby, sweetie.
Well,
you don't have forever.
Well,
so, I mean, that's just a reality.
I mean, Terry Vaughn is 44. Kim Fields was what, 48, 47?
I'm 41 and I still don't have a baby. And I'm married. So you know what I'm saying? So I feel that, but I want you to really love yourself and really, really, I mean, I already know, Dawn. I know who you are because you're my radio sister. You know what I'm saying? So I know what kind of young woman you represent, and it's a beautiful thing. But I'm talking to, in general, across the board, there are a lot of ladies out here who are actively seeking but are not they're not healthy themselves completely.
Right.
And so you're running, you're seeking for all the wrong things.
Right.
And so I just needed to put that point out there.
Yeah, and also, Dawn, you have to remember that, you know, you're in competition with Bonquisha. You know, and Boquisha out there looking for a man too. So you
got
might
them stacks on.
Yeah, you might want
she
to
willing to do a lot more.
Exactly. Step yourself up just a little bit. Even though you're a little bit more old fashioned than Bonquisha from the block, you know, she just, you know, willing to be out there and have more exposure, you know, in order to get a man. I'm just saying.
You know,
that,
we looking for you, Dawn.
A lot of times, you know, the parody about, you know, you asking God to save you, you know, and He didn't send you a parachute.
Dawn is that,
you know, He didn't send you a boat, and He didn't send you all this or whatever. You still, you know, asking and waiting. You didn't take all the avenues available to you. You know, that as far as looking. But I wish you nothing but the best.
Because if you take the
Anybody
same
that's single
avenues
that's
as
looking.
Boquisha, we gonna pick you, Dawn. We ain't stupid.
Right.
Anybody that's single and seeking, I wish them definitely all the best.
Y'all were talking about the whole marriage thing and you know, that whole, but I was like, that I feel like putting the cart before the horse, because I really have the question of how do you keep the guy. See, my biggest concern, my biggest problem, I think, in my dating since I've been in Atlanta is consistency. The guys are not consistent. And if you're not consistent, I completely go away.
Consistent on what level? Consistent on what level? Oh, okay.
Consistent as far as contacting me, wanting to see me, etc., etc. Guys are not consistent. They're not, and that drives me insane.
Hey, Dawn, hang on to that. We're going to answer that when we come back. We have to take a break. Stay with us. A Queen's Eye View. We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll answer Dawn's question. Stay with us.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24 karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small, affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly, and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink. Tap Out Studios of Hollywood is one of Atlanta's newest visual and performing arts centers designed for you to perfect your creativity. Our 3,000 square foot event space includes a full bar, VIP section, movie screen, and 2 stages. Take advantage of our Spring Fling package deal for new and existing clients. Save over 40% when you rent our venue for $700 for events with more than 100 people. For booking information, contact Kendra at 404-578-1454. Located less than a half a mile off of I-20 off Fulton Industrial, we are Tap Out Studios of Hollywood, 620 Interchange Drive. Tap Out Studios of Hollywood, inspiring creativity, changing lives, and making dreams come true.
Stokes and Matthews Media is a boutique media company that specializes in vision coaching, publishing, and marketing for authors, experts, and small business owners. It is the mission of Nadia Matthews and Nicole Stokes to show aspiring writers and seasoned authors how to build lucrative brands using their books as the foundation. Before the company's official launch in September 2014, Stokes and Matthews Media will be offering free online workshops and interviews with industry experts, ebooks, and discounted first-time consultations for individuals who desire to get on the company's 2014-2015 roster. Stokes and Matthews Media is also scouting experienced individuals in the literary publishing, PR, marketing, promotions, and event planning industries to join the team on a freelance and/or internship basis. If you would like to learn more about Stokes and Matthews Media or learn how you can advertise with us, please send a detailed email to info@stokesandmatthewsmedia.com or visit www.stokesandmatthewsmedia.com. Stokes and Matthews Media, where your project is our passion.
Honey, what are we going to do with all these bills? It doesn't make any sense. We make more than enough money to cover everything, but we're still in a hole.
Let's check out Madam Money.
Madam Money? Who is that?
She is a financial expert who helps people like us set and reach our financial goals.
This is great. With her help, we can do all the things that we talked about.
That's right. Now we can take that vacation we've always wanted and not feel stressed.
Hi, this is Tara Jackson, also known as Madam Money, and I can help you clear up all of your financial diseases and those pesky financial STDs.
See, this is why I love you.
Yes, I know.
So check out Madam Money online at tarajackson.com. TARRA Jackson.com.
Lisa, you've been staring at that computer screen for 30 minutes. What's wrong?
Oh, it's my new marketing campaign. I want to tell people how great my business is, but I don't know what to say. I need copy for the website, newsletters, and brochure, and I'm drawing a blank. Writing just isn't my thing.
My boss had the same problem, and he called Put It in Writing Professional Writing Service.
Put it in writing? What's that?
It's a business just for people who need copywriting, but don't have the budget for the big marketing and PR firms. They help my company tell everyone about the great products and services we offer through our website. And when my cousin recorded his CD, Put It in Writing wrote his bio and press release. They even do resumes.
That's good to know, because I'll be looking for a job if this business doesn't take off.
Don't worry. Call the professionals at Put It in Writing at 901-359-6629 and check out the website at putitinwriting2.com. That's putitinwriting2.com.
Hello and welcome back to this week's edition of A Queen's Eye View. We're in here with Jenny and Rufus Triplett, and we're talking about what it takes to make a marriage work. And during break, I won't call any names, but Heidi said...
emphasize that word.
Oh, she didn't.
You need to emphasize that word.
What it takes to make it work.
Work.
Heidi said during break something I thought was just wonderful. She said, okay, when y'all going to tell the people the real deal? Okay? Heidi, go on and ask them that question again on the air.
Marriage is work.
It's hard work.
People are so consumed with getting there.
Right.
The dress,
It's
the
hard
event, the
work.
whatever. But
Who's
once
coming?
they get
I ain't
in the
inviting her.
covenant,
She ain't in my bridal party.
once you get inside of that covenant, then what? It's
Yeah.
kind of like when somebody first has a baby and y'all both get home and y'all look at it and be like, okay, what do we do next?
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
we really don't know what we're doing. You know what I'm saying?
You have to mesh and get together because, you know, we both came from two-parent households. My parents were together, you know, up until the day my dad died. My mom lived on. She's passed on now, but his parents are still together, 46 years, you know, of marriage.
Girl, that's a work in progress.
We both come from, you know, dysfunctional house. No, we're not going to say that our parents' marriages was the best. You know, but they were still together because they were old school marriages. So they were old school. So we done seen some things. We done seen a lot of things. We never lived together. So that right there, all this shacking up and everything, people, you know, trying to buy.
Because I told her if you want to live with me, you're going to have to marry me.
You believe in sex before marriage? They
Do
left.
you?
They left the room.
And they left the room. They got quiet.
Well, when I was 19 years old.
Back that up.
I believed it. I believed in whatever.
See,
but,
we didn't
even get it out.
Being the wise man that I am now, as Steve Harvey tell y'all, hold them cookies. Quit opening the cookie jar.
We didn't move in together to the day we got married. So that right there was already a bombshell. Two young people going into a marriage and getting an apartment is like, now what? Well, we didn't have nothing but the floors and the walls.
Right.
And it's like, okay, now what?
Oh, we
y'all started together like that, though.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. When we give this advice, but when we wrote this book, it was concerning, I don't think nobody has done it the way we did it in a long time. That getting married first, we're not shacking up, yada, yada, yada. So coming from that and the heartaches and we finna get divorced 2 weeks into the marriage.
24 hours.
Bro, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
But coming
who
from
the
that,
bleep did I marry?
coming from that, I'm saying wisdom comes. So that question, sex before marriage, once again, I mean, I'm old school. I'm like Dawn. I personally say, nah, I wish I hadn't. I mean, I think it would have been, I don't know. It's great. It's lovely. Nothing's wrong.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's like now, everybody, the whole thing is, oh, well, you don't know a person until you live with them. And my mom, my mom passed on, but I just remember that was one thing she always said. She was like, the whole, why buy the milk if you can have, why get the cow if you can have the milk for free, blah, 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 blah. But she was so against living together before marriage. So I am too. The only exception I will say now, I guess trying to be a more modern woman, is that I would now, if we were engaged and we decided to move in together to save money for the house or for the wedding or whatever, then I would be okay with that. But it's so crazy when I tell guys that I'm against living together, they look at me like I'm from some foreign country.
Yeah, that's
Well,
their problem.
what we
but-
tell people is that, because we talk to so many single people, is they want to know everything. You're not going to know everything about a person
not
before you
gonna
marry
know
them.
nothing
You're
about these-
not going to know everything.
You can talk to them
I mean,
for the
we
next 5
were,
years, you still ain't
especially
gonna
coming
know.
from two backgrounds, we're up in the dang on commissary, that's the military grocery store. We up in the commissary arguing over cereal.
Not me.
This guy wants some
I ain't
Cinnamon
arguing.
Toast Crunch. I didn't grow up with that. You better put
getting
some
what I was gonna
cornflakes
get.
and Cheerios up in this buggy, okay? Because it's about to get real up in this commissary,
plain
okay?
cereal.
So we up here, it's those little things are gonna come up because you just don't know. I'm using Tide. I put a big old box of Tide in
How
the
long we been
buggy.
married? 25
This
years?
dude is talking about some game. I
learned
don't know
something about
nothing
you
about no
last night.
game.
How
Okay,
you
my
get up
mama
in the
didn't
middle of the
use.
night and you miss the toilet? I'm just saying. I don't understand. I don't understand.
That hole's a lot bigger than what you put over it.
It just little things that
Keeping it
are
real.
gonna come up and it's gonna cause arguments. We didn't care. We up
I'm
in the
trying to keep my
commissary.
composure.
We have to hash this out right here because it's not going home. We only got a budget. Well, look, we're young, we're single, we're on a budget. I ain't eat no Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You can eat some cornflakes. It's all good.
Some sugar, brown
Some
sugar
sugar
on
in
it.
it.
I know,
brown
there you
sugar
go.
and
Some
sugar.
brown sugar on it. It's all good.
And I put about 2 cups of sugar in that joke.
So I mean,
She
those
would've
little
brought that
things
cinnamon.
that you're gonna have to work out. And I'm just saying that as far as those the type of things that happen to us the first year in marriage, but as long as the marriage goes on, things come up. Gotta buy a car. Time to buy a car. I want an SUV. No, ain't gonna get no SUV.
I'm getting that
Porsche.
Porsche.
We got. I wish you would. So you have to have those type of discussions.
Before marriage.
And things gonna come up,
Yeah,
and it may turn into a serious argument. And you may not get the car for a month until somebody caves in. But these are the things that people need to know about as far as marriage.
Did you have deal breakers? Do you have deal breakers in your relationship?
We had some. We got rid of them jokers.
Don't they bring you broke
Oh,
the deal with them?
the deal breakers will break your marriage. Period.
Yes.
You got deal breakers, it will break your marriage. I can almost guarantee you.
Yeah.
Well, see, my whole thing is
Open it
with my
up
deal
and tag
breakers,
me in it.
if I see the deal breakers and when I'm getting to know you, then we're just going to go ahead and cut it in. Because I'm not, we ain't going to get to the marriage status. Because if I see the deal breakers and getting to know you, then there's no need to continue getting to know you, in my opinion.
I'm gonna steal some Heidi stuff here. Then you're gonna have to magnify your list. You're gonna have to magnify and investigate that list and see if it's worth, not having a marriage. Let me give you an example. Our neighbor, we've known her for 20 some years or whatever. She was maybe 14 when we met her. She married a guy who didn't like to brush his teeth in the morning but wanted to give her a kiss. She felt that was they went through a thing with that now. That was a serious huge problem. Is that worth a marriage? Is that really worth a marriage?
It's not, and I used to have okay, leaving the toilet seat up is not a deal breaker. It's hella irritating to me, but it's not a deal breaker.
In the water, it was.
Now, if you smoke, it's a deal breaker. So guess what? If you smoke, I'm not even going to date you. Because I'm sorry, to me, I can't deal with that. You're going to listen to me complain and nag about that enough that you're going to want to get rid of me anyway.
Now,
there's no point in me dating you if you smoke. That is a deal breaker.
Yes,
for me.
that
Smoking
deal breaker,
is a deal breaker.
that has value to it. But I'm saying the little things that come up, you just have to really look at it. Like I was telling you about the girl with the heels. You give up them heels.
Yeah, come on. I'm a tall girl, and of course I do want. I would love for him to be tall, but I got over that a long time ago. If he's 5'10", okay, that's not tall enough. I wish he were taller, but that's okay. I'm not gonna not date him because he's only 5'10".
If he's 4'11",
let me say
is
one
that
more
a deal
thing
breaker?
about the first. Let me say one more thing about the first tip in the book. Okay, when we say put God first, understand this. Nobody's faith is where, I mean, sometimes your faith is the same, but everybody's faith is not the same. So when we say put God first, just because you on the level with your faith does not mean your partner is on the same level with their faith.
True. Yes, very true.
So keeping that relationship with God is very crucial to the marriage.
He will humble you.
And
yes.
I know and I want to segue back into the question that was asked as we were going to break about the consistency and what your remarks were or your thoughts are on the consistency.
Yes.
Well, I was asking
how do you keep the guy consistent? Because that is a real problem.
Well, I don't think it's your problem. I don't think that's your job.
Ain't gonna happen.
I don't think it's your job because this is the scenario that I was laying out. You know,
I must
just
be
because
picking the wrong guys then. And maybe I have my picker is off.
Because somebody meets you, Dawn, does
Patty
not
says
mean that they're going to
Millionaire Matchmaker. My picker is off. Maybe
they're
that's
going
what
to
it is.
just because somebody meets you doesn't mean that they're going to give up who they are and what they're doing, you know, just because they meet you. If they meet you on a Monday, they might go to a singles hookup on a Tuesday, you know, and then, you know, maybe get back with you on a Wednesday and then get with their boys on a Thursday. You know, that's not just and I'm not saying this in any type of, you know, arrogant way or anything. I'm just saying meeting you is not the end all to their life. You know, it's just the beginning of something, maybe possibly nurturing a relationship.
Grow together.
Yes, and you know, you have to understand as far as that and put it out there.
Well,
you know, are you just looking for a friendship? You looking for a companion to maybe go to, you know, the Hawks games, you know, or what are you looking for? What are you seeking as far as this relationship?
And is it being honest with yourself? I mean, because a lot of times we as women are not honest with ourselves, and what you're saying is pretty much saying, what do I really want?
Right.
Do I really want marriage? Am I even ready for marriage?
What are you willing to give up? You know, because they may come to you and say, well, I don't want an old-fashioned woman. I don't want this. I don't want that. So what are you willing to compromise on? Because I know I hear you say, you know, your values and your mom said this and this and that. And I respect that because you're right. You grew up in a household that was functional and it worked for you. And you saw it work for your family. And definitely you want to pattern your life after that. And I wish more people would pattern their lives out after positive things such as that. We probably wouldn't be in the state of emergency that we're in currently. But my question is to you. I know that cup. I don't know what's in that cup. That's what I'm wondering.
Oh. Yeah, me too, because this is
I'm sorry, Dawn.
Y'all gonna make me fall on my chair.
But I'm saying we have to look at ourselves and say, okay, what are we willing to give up? What do we want to compromise on? You know?
But see, that's the thing. I'm very compromising. I'm very accommodating. I'm very open-minded. And so it's just like the whole consistency thing, the reason that I have such a problem with that is because I feel like, okay, there are certain things that I, as the female, need to give out to make him want to get to know me better, to make him want to spend more time with me, et cetera, et cetera. And when I feel like I'm giving those things out and then he doesn't call and he doesn't want to see me, he doesn't want to spend any more time with me to get to know me any further, then I start thinking, well, what did I do wrong?
Have you
but I'm trying to stop thinking that because I always think, well, what did I do wrong? What's wrong with me? I'm always asking myself that question, and I know I need to stop.
I love to be a fly on the wall at one of your dates.
And that's what I was going to say. Have you ever asked one of the guys you've dated what was the issue? How did he see you? How did he view you? Because we have a view of ourselves. We have a view of how we think we are. And there's also the view of how everyone else sees us.
Girl, you better believe
I have asked because I have a lot of guy friends, or either I will say guy friends, and some of them have been guys that I used to date. I will admit that. But most of the time when I have breakups, my breakups are never sour. So I normally it becomes either a good friendship, or if I were to see that person out in the street, it's not going to be, oh, I hate him, I want to stab him. It's not going to ever be that. And he's not going to say that about me either.
So you're
but I have had
all of these
relationships where I'm able to go back to the guy and say, you know what, we know each other well enough that I want you to be 100% straight, no chaser with me. What do, you know, and some of them will tell me some of my issues, but you know what? Normally the things that they say are things I already know about myself. So it's like it doesn't help, me to try to fix something or try to give an alternate route to what I'm doing. Like, okay, they tell me that, okay, Don, you're spoiled. Oh, I already know I'm spoiled. I already know that. I'm very clear about that. Okay, what else? What else can you tell me? I need you to tell me something that I see and say, oh, Don, you need to work on that. But I never get that from guys. Like, they're always like, oh, you're great, blah, blah, blah. And they give me all these general statements. And I'm just like, no, I need to know what is the problem with consistency. I'm not clingy. I'm not, I'm just all the things that I think would make a guy run. I don't feel like I am.
But Don,
so
have you ever
to
said
tell
that
me.
to a
I ask
guy?
my friends, my girlfriends, and my guy friends.
Have you ever said that to a guy? You told a guy, like, I'm spoiled?
Oh, absolutely. I will tell them that because I know that's true.
But what I'm saying, do you wait for them to tell you, or do you say it up front? Is that something you say up front? Well, I was raised this way, and I'm very spoiled.
I'm not very spoiled. Now, I'm not a brat. But I know I'm spoiled. And there is a difference. But most guys, when they get to know me, like, they can tell that anyway. So some guys have told me that up front, or I'll just say, yeah, I'm spoiled. Yeah, I like my way. That doesn't necessarily mean that but even though I say that, that doesn't mean that I'm not accommodating and that I'm not compromising and that I'm not willing to give, because I absolutely am, because I'm open-minded enough to be able to do that.
Let me just say this, because this is just on my mind, Don, and I just want to put this out there. It's on topic, but it's so true. What I found when I felt true love has no conditions. It's not consistent. It makes no sense. It is very irrational. True love was an experience or a feeling that I had never, ever felt before. But when I knew it was something different, because when I was around this person, all of my list, everything that I thought went out the window. Now, I'm not saying, I'm just being real with you. I'm not saying that I didn't act like a lady. I'm just simply telling you that being with this person and feeling his spirit and his vibe at the time made me just not want to stay in a mold or a box. We were always out of the box. I mean, there were things that I had never done before with the man that I did with the man that I eventually married. Right. So all I'm simply telling you is, one day I woke up and I was like, dang, this is different. That's when I was like, gee, I might actually be ready to commit to this, because this is something I had never seen before, and it didn't fit in any of my little box rules. I'm just keeping it real, because I had some rules. I had some stuff, and I had told God, okay, I'm going to tell you what I want. And see, the funny thing about God is he's got a sense of humor. 9 times out of 10, when you tell him what you want, he'll give you what you want sometimes. You just didn't give him you didn't give him all the details. You gave him what you was thinking about at the time. But you didn't give him everything. So I'm just simply telling you, all of that consistency in the box goes out the window, because true love has no conditions.
None.
I mean, you're right. I feel like I've been in love before, Heidi, and you're right. It's like that person. I mean, I think it's very important that you are a whole person within yourself. Before that, it's not his responsibility to make me happy. It is not his responsibility to make me this. It is not his responsibility to give me that. Those are my responsibilities. But when I come into it, it's like when that person makes you feel, it's like when you think about him, you just get a little bit of a lift, or it's like you said, you can't even really describe it or put it into words, that person brings. It's like, I feel like you should make each other better for each other. And not that you weren't fine by yourself. I'm not saying that. Because it's like I said, it's not like everybody's like, well, he didn't make me happy. Well, it's really not his responsibility to make you happy. You should be happy on your own, and y'all should make each other happy. Like, I feel like it should be he makes your day just a little bit brighter, and you make his day just a little bit brighter.
Well, Don, I just want to say this because they're getting ready to wrap up the show. But I just wanted to say, if you think all of this part of it is hard, wait till you get married.
Amen.
20 years in. I
You keep
love
saying
is-
20 years in, 24 hours
I
in.
heard
How about
Heidi,
that?
but when I knew I was in love was
When? You remember when?
yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay.
Oh, my God.
All the way over here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. All right.
I'm just trying to say, it's so unconditional. It's pathetic. I don't know no other way to describe.
Oh, and
true
Don?
love.
Don, he even called my dad. He even called my dad and told him he was going to marry me.
I was old school.
Yeah, guys don't do that anymore. Like, ask for the guys, the girls' dad's hand in marriage, or ask the dad for her hand in marriage. Like, oh, God, I think that's so beautiful.
Well, a lot of them dads they can't find, so, sometimes it's hard.
I mean, that's very true. But
They lost their daddy. Y'all wrong.
Well, Rufus, Jenny, would you give our listeners your contact information if they needed to
Yeah,
talk
Rufus,
to you guys?
give them our contact
Oh,
information.
you want me to give it to him?
Yeah, give it to
Well,
him.
I don't ever give it to him though.
I know you don't.
I ain't got a good memory.
Okay.
Right. You knew it at the beginning, right?
You
knew it
can
at the
find
beginning.
us on the
He over here
web,
pouting.
on our website,
Oh.
rufusandjennytriplett.com. You can find us all across social media. Find us on Facebook. We do have a couple's profile.
That's what I was gonna say.
9 times out of 10, you're talking to me unless he got something to say, unless he remembers something he has to say. So it's Rufus-Jenny Triplett. We also have a Facebook fan page, which is Rufus and Jenny
You trying to
Triplett,
be funny?
husband and wife team. And if you guys want to connect on the Prison World side, we've been doing Prison World work for like forever. You can go to prisonworldmagazine.com. You can listen
Girl,
to
you
our
need to
radio
lower
show.
this down to one site or something.
No, we busy.
It's too much.
We busy.
That's why I can't remember nothing.
You can listen to our radio show, the Prison World Radio Hour. We're on iTunes and TuneIn, the app, so you guys can find us out there. And also, you can find our Facebook fan page, Prison World. And any of that, just go to the other sites, Twitter and YouTube and Pinterest
telling
and
me
all
stuff
that
I
good
don't
type of
even know
stuff.
about
We're
us.
all across social media. You'll learn.
Look, Rufus taking
Did you learn
notes.
today?
Think I ain't?
You learned today, right?
I
Okay.
learned today.
All right.
Well, we here at a Queen's Eye View, we want to thank you, Rufus and Jenny. You guys have truly made the show entertaining
yes.
and knowledge and information.
Thanks for having us.
Do we get a discount on that first class? Look.
Yes.
Oh, we have an event coming up. It doesn't have to do with marriage, but it might help some people. We are doing Create Wealth with Books, September 6th, down at the Hope Financial Dignity Center with New York Times bestselling author Omar Tyree, and we're doing a book panel. So you guys will find that out on our website.
Awesome.
And the free tickets, they just sold out today. Get the early bird special is only $10, and the regular price tickets are $15. But there are a limited amount of tickets, and they're selling fast. September 6th.
The room ain't but so big. You better quit telling me all these people.
September 6th.
Stay in the room only.
There.
Well, we'd like to thank you at a Queen's Eye View. I'm Shay.
I'm Alicia Coleman.
I'm Heidi.
And we
I'm
have
Donna Triplett.
I said it this
Lord.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. What did you say, Dawn?
I was just introducing myself. You guys were saying your names, so I just said my name.
And Rufus decided to speak up at the same time.
that was me.
She don't like that.
That's a deal breaker,
Dawn
Rufus.
don't like
No,
that.
she
That's
don't
a deal
like
breaker.
that.
I guess I'm out then, huh?
You out. You
Yes,
way
you are.
out.
We'd like to thank you all for tuning in this week. Join us next Wednesday at 7:30 again. We'll be live at Salon Envy again. Woohoo! We'll be going back to the
Yes,
salon.
yes.
Maybe I can get a press and curl, which I think.
Okay.
More like a skinny.
Hey, you ain't got no hair on first and curl, boo.
No.
More like a burning peel.
You're so silly. Talking about press and curl. And she got the cute little short new. You ain't got nothing to press and curl.
And Dawn, I cut it more today, so I really be burned.
You don't need that. You good.
Well, thank you.
Yes, you are.
Well, we thank you all for joining us and tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we've enjoyed hosting tonight. We'll see you next week. Be blessed.